Um, I've just come across Bee Healing. She's a very good friend. And she's had a comment regarding side effects from pain. There are many, many side effects from pain. Okay. I'm going to give you some basics and kind of common sense almost, and only because I learned it. As soon as I learned something, it becomes common sense because you think, ah, yeah. Okay, so we'll start with connective tissue. For example, right? I started off with one crutch. Before I found out anything about my spine, absolutely anything, I struggled to walk. So I started with one crutch, okay? Because one side, my lower back, extreme agony, continuous, non-stop, 24/7, okay? I could only get around with a crutch. I was fine for a few weeks. Then, because your body is connected with connective tissue, which is everywhere, myofascial connective tissue goes all around the muscle. It's all around. It's the muscle fibers, the organs, everything. Imagine a pack of oranges in the netting. The netting keeps it all there. The connective tissue keeps all your organs in place. Okay, it covers your bones, your joints, ligaments. It's in your entire body. Okay, every single place you can find it. So imagine, okay, connective tissue, you call it ninja webbing. It's connected. It's like, it looks like a web in your body. Okay, it connects. It's deep. It's very, very deep. It's as deep as you go. There's 3 levels, and I can't remember what the levels are called. I'm going with one crutch, so in 3 weeks, this side's going to also have an effect, which is a side effect, because this body is now coping with the extra stress of this side. That's one side effect, okay? So then after a certain length of time, I couldn't walk with 2 crutches, because my whole body had then become in constant pain 24/7. So yes, that is one side effect of pain. If it affects one part, it's going to affect another. That's just how the body works, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean this bit's going to hurt, so that bit's going to hurt. Because this bit hurt, this lower back on the left, the lumbar region and the bottom as well, okay, that was all affected. It was all swollen. It was massively swollen, okay? Massive inflammation. But the first it hurt up here, the shoulder, okay, the top of the back, down to the mid back. Then as you go further, it then affects the lower back, which then can affect this side, which then goes down to affect the hips, which then goes down to affect the legs, and it can affect your feet as well. So yes, complete. That's the obvious one, okay? Until you understand, until you learn something on that, it becomes common sense, because you realise, of course, that's going to happen. What do you do when you put your finger in a spider? What happens when you put your finger in a spider web? It pulls. Not necessarily direct line. It'll pull somewhere else. Okay? Bee Healing, you could sort of do that with your suit. So you're going to pull one area and it's going to go... You know what I mean? It's not necessarily going to follow that. It's going to be symmetrical. Also, very correct. Being in constant pain the whole time gets you into a lower mood, because you're so fed up, you're in so much pain, you can't clear the pain. All you can think of is pain. So yes, it causes severe deep depression. That happened to my dad as well. Okay, he was on crutches for about 5 or 6 years. Okay, he had brittle bone disease, he had diabetes, he had kidney stuff. His body was just sore all the time. He was a rattling guy because he had so much medication, and he was still in constant pain. And you know what? Before he dies, I mean, he was only 58 when he died. But you know what? You could tell he then suffered with depression. So you have mental health, and that can vary in very different, broad side effects. So you've got the mental health, which covers it all. Mental, emotional. Okay, and that cuts deep. It cuts deep, guys. It cuts deep. Alright, so you've got mental, emotional. You've got extra physical, because one pain will cause another pain if it's not fixed. So yeah, so there's just two. Alright? Obviously, the second one, the mental health, the mental side, that can create a whole open tin of worms. So yes, in my opinion, there is side effects from pain. Hope this helps, guys. I hope it's easy enough to understand. I'm hoping it is, because I picked that up and I was quite understanding of it. Okay, just think of the spider web. Your body's a massive spider web. Okay, what's going to happen on one side, something's going to happen somewhere else. It follows on. There's scientific studies. There's people that's had to have operations, you know, lower back issues, and then because it's never dealt with, it creeps up and up and up. And there's a case where someone had to have their cervical spine dealt with and had surgery on the cervical spine because of an issue that stemmed from the lumbar spine. It's always a follow-on. It's always a knock-on effect. You have to get to the root cause to be able to try and help and rebuild and repair the root cause before you can get to the rest of it, because the rest of it is the knock-on. Get to the root cause first. Same as mechanics in a car. Get to the root cause, because if you don't, that root cause, if you don't have that fixed, whatever you do to try and repair it, it's going to fail. It's the same as the body. It's the same as everything. I do apologise because I haven't turned my do not disturb off, because I turned it on after a meeting this morning. But yeah, there you go. There's my opinion on side effects of pain. Love and light, positivity. I hope this helps.